Dear men, let's talk. When was the last time you took yourself out? When was the last time you spent your money solely on yourself? When was the last time you didn't think about others before you did something like spend your money or make certain decisions? When was the last time you appreciated for just existing as a man and not having to be appreciated based on what you could do or what you could provide? Every day, men go through a lot of stress, a lot of societal pressure that they cannot voice out simply because they are meant to be a man. Now, I wanted to know that you do not need to always be a man because you are first of all a human being before you were a man. The month is June and this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and that's why I'm making this video, because this is supposed to be the only month once in a year that men should talk about how they feel deep inside. A lot of men have mastered the art of suppressing their emotions, me included, and we refuse to talk about these things because we do not want the stigma of the society. We don't want to be seen as a weakling. We don't want to be seen as being less of a man, and so we jest it and then we move on. Whereas what we do not understand is that these scenarios, these actions, and these things that happen to us play a big part in how we operate as human beings, and they decide, how we as men function in the society. And when our past is, has been traumatized and we do not recognize it, we end up moving on into traumatizing experiences, but thinking they are the actual normality. So let us talk. What exactly is going through your mind? This video is going to be a very safe video, so do not hesitate to use the comment section to interact with me, and I promise I would respond back to every person. What exactly is going through your mind? How do you feel right now? Are you currently at a stage in your life as a man where you think you've now achieved a lot of things? Are you 35, single, never been married, no kids, not financially stable? Or are you watching this video and you are 18? No direction of your life yet. You've seen your mates go to university and you are still back at home. I was still at home when I was 18. And you do not even know what you're going to do with your life. Looking back 10 years when I was not yet in uni at the age of 18 and most of my friends were in 200, 300 level, some had traveled abroad for their first degree, I would at that point also be thinking maybe something was wrong, or maybe, I'm not going to make it in life. But 10 years later, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was. And that's just life for you generally as a man. You are always on a journey, always on a journey. Nobody's going to come and pick you up and, elevate you. You are going to be the one to make your elevation yourself. If there's one thing all men struggle with today, then it has to be relationships. You fall in love, you fall out of love. Sometimes you fall in love with the right person, sometimes you fall in love with the wrong person. Sometimes you fall in love with people who are not in love with you, sometimes people who are not in love with you fall in love with you. It's a confused cycle, let me just say it that way. But here are a few things that I have learned so far using my own personal experience. Number one, never fall in love with the outside. A lot of men make this mistake, and we are attracted by what we see on the outside, but you need to always look on the inside. Most of the time, the truth is always in the signs. You need to pay attention to certain signs, certain trends, certain words, certain actions, and connect certain dots. If certain things are actually happening that makes you suspect that something might be wrong, then most of the time, something is actually wrong. But you get blinded by what you see on the outside, and then you do not, bother to investigate deep down and ask yourself the hard questions because you are, infatuated, let me use that word. Another lesson I've learned is to learn to count my losses and move on. Look, not everything would have happy endings. Not every, flame would last to the end. If you meet someone today and they are not, giving you the perfect vibe, do not say because you invested XYZ, you want to stick it out and, you are hoping it's going to get better. It's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. So while you can still run. Just look at your losses, count them, take stock, and move on, because it is cheaper for you that way than continuing to stay in that toxic environment and making more losses. And then when you now eventually move on, which you will now have more losses that you could have had if you had moved on way earlier. Also, the earlier you realize this today, the better. You are not somebody's savior. When you're meeting a potential partner, you are not meant to save them out of penury or bring them out of whatever situation they are. You are not Superman. You are a man. You are supposed to be a partner to this person. And if I check the meaning of the word partner, it is people who help each other. So while you are helping the person, you are also supposed to be receiving them. But a lot of men think that their own job is to just help the person and they don't receive anything in return, and they are quite fine with it. Many of the times when you pay on the receiving end of this, you think it's the normality, but it's actually not. A loving, relationship would involve the other person also helping you out. It will involve them being considerate about your nature as a man and your needs and trying to fulfill your needs while you also fulfill their needs. Also, know your values, your goals, your aspirations, and your deal breakers. Never, and I repeat, never shift your goalpost. Do not shift your goalpost because of certain, things that you see on the outside. Oh, the girl is fine. Oh, this is this. Oh, that is that. Don't shift your goalpost. Stick to your goals. Your goals and your values and your aspirations, they are not too much. I mean, if a woman is also setting goals and aspirations for herself and she's telling you you don't fit into it, who then told you that you as a man also cannot have your goals and aspirations and your deal breakers and must stand by them? So stick by your goals, stick by your aspirations, stick by your values, stick by your deal breakers, and don't let anyone shift you for it. Then we need to now talk about something. Because one of the advice my father gave me as a young lad, I think he told me this some 5 or 6 years ago, before I started making money, as a man. He said, whatever I do, I should not forget to take care of myself. And I believe he was using his own experience as an example, saying that when you are a man, you would make a lot of money, but then you will spend the money on a lot of things that will not be for yourself. You will be for the children's school fees. You buy new stuff for the house. You would give your wife some money to look good. You would send some money to your parents. Your own brothers and sisters might call you. You would send some money to them. But what about you? When last did you go and buy a new shoe for yourself and just be like, I did not buy this shoe because I need shoe. I just bought it because I want to feel happy. So spend your money on yourself. You work for it. When you do your budgets, your bills, take a segment of your money and why is it to enjoy your life? Spend it on yourself. Don't let anybody question you for what you spend it for. If what you want to spend it for is to buy PS5, my dear, buy it. If what you want to spend the money for is to go on a trip, go on that trip. If what you want to use the money to do is, travel around the world, travel. If it's to buy a new car, even if you have 3 cars already, if you feel like buying that car will make you happier than when you buy that car, just buy the car. Don't let anyone tell you how to spend your money. And more importantly, spend your money on yourself. Spend it on yourself. Because there was a point in time when I wasn't doing that, and my focus was to just make sure that everyone around me was okay. And this led to me, battling a depressive episode. In case you do not know what depressive episodes are, they are like part of depression, but they are not staying for an extended period of time. So maybe you are depressed for a month or two, and then for another month or two it's nice and fine, and then for another 1 or 2 or 3 months it's bad. Then for a month or two you are okay, and then those are depressive episodes. They come, they go, they come, they go, they come, they go. And I battled with this for about a year, the good chunk of 2023. I battled with, depressive episodes starting from around March. But one of the things that helped me get out of it was spending money on myself. Deciding that I was going to spend my money on myself and live happily. And ever since I've made that decision, I've not regretted it. I eat what I want to eat because I feel like eating it. Even if it's expensive, I don't care. I feel like eating it at this moment. I'll spend that money on myself. After all, I made the money. You get what I'm saying? So the bills will always be there. The expenses will always be there. Your landlord will always call your phone when your rent is due. Your bill would always want to bill you. Your family would need money. Whatever ventures you're doing would always need all those things. But at the end of the day, if you don't take care of yourself and you go, those things would exist. They will keep living while you would be facing God or Satan, in case you believe in that based on your religion. So, to bring this video to an end, I hope I've been able to talk to a lot of men today that you deserve to take care of yourself. You deserve to help yourself be a better person. You deserve to spend your money on yourself. You deserve to feel okay with your money. You do not need to be pressurized by the society, by your friends, by your peer, by your partner. If you are in a relationship where your partner is always pressurizing you, telling you to go and find something, by all means, I think it's best you evaluate that relationship and ask yourself, do you really want to deal with this for life? Do you really want to, be in action mode every time, in work mode every time, in pursuit of something you cannot attain just because you want to satisfy someone else? It's a different thing if you are pursuing something you cannot reach to satisfy yourself. That is, totally encouraged, because you are going to reap the rewards of your labor if you do attain that thing in using all legal means. But when you're in pursuit of something you cannot attain, either using legal means or illegal means, but because what you are trying to attain is not for someone else, it's like you are being made to work for someone else's pleasure, and you are not a slave, you are a man. So do ask yourself these questions. I believe every man at this point, as that I've gotten to in this video, has been able to learn one or two things, has asked themselves certain questions. Dear men, let's use the comment section to talk. Where in life are you? What are you currently thinking about? What's on your mind? How bad is it currently? Pour your emotions in the comment section. I know it can be very, very hard, but trust me, this space, I'm telling you, is going to be safe, and anybody who tries to talk wrongly would have their comments strictly moderated. And until I see you guys again, it could be.